I see. Uh, you've said that you're a highly diversified public intellectual, that you don't like bet on single ideas. Uh, in a blog post about whose entire body of work is worth reading, you mentioned historians. Um, if they're relatively good at being historians, they're have a pretty high hit rate of having good bodies of work. Um, there's a sort of underlying analogy of uh, public intellectuals as investors in ideas. Uh, I'm going to share some, I guess, investing analogies, and I'd be curious to hear your thoughts as to how they map onto public intellectuals. Are you down?
Yeah, of course.
Uh, are there high variance ideas, and what sort of ideas or fields are more high variance?
Well, anytime you make a big prediction, it's high variance, right? So if you're proven right, there's a big upside. If you're proven wrong, it is true people forget about it, but you still lost a chance at upside and you only get so many chances. So anything about the future, anything about tech, uh, any very specific political predictions, like, oh, like every president will be like Trump from now on, those are pretty high variance.
What are the various markets for ideas? Who's buying ideas? If public intellectuals are sort of serving them out, where does the demand come from?
Well, you can get tenure. That's common. You can write for media. You can write for Substack, which can be a lot of income. Uh, those are, you can have a podcast. Those are not necessarily your ideas, but it's you in some way. You can do consulting. You can work for a multilateral. You can advise and or work for a government. So there's a lot of different bidders, so to speak. Some of them
It,
don't interest me at all. Like I've never wanted to work for governments.
does the analogy of like startups and small business map on? If you want to be a very like successful intellectual, do you have to have a few startups and take high risk bets on a few companies and have those succeed, or can you
I
be a
don't think
long term?
so.
No,
I
okay.
think you can become an expert like in a thing. And there's some things they're always going to matter, like immigration or the Middle East, obvious list of stuff. And if you're just smart and work hard and do some sensible things, you can become pretty well known. You don't have to make some big bet like, oh, the government of Iran will collapse in 2 years. You can try that, but it's usually unwise. Like typically you don't actually know. And you can just be an expert, and that's
It,
fine. Like look at Justin Wolfers. Like I know he's made specific predictions, but he's mainly known for being an expert. Not that he said this one thing that turned out to be correct. And he's an expert about a bunch of things, and he's doing great.
uh, the public intellectuals that do take these high risk bets, do you think they're usually aware of it?
Well, I don't think they're doing it cynically,
Mhm.
typically. There may be some cases of that, but most are sincere, really believe it. I think they know what they're doing when they say it. But again, I don't think they're manipulating the system to try to get ahead. I think it's what they feel they ought to be saying. I just think they're often overconfident in their ability to be correct. But that's fine. Like other entrepreneurs are motivated by overconfidence. Adam Smith made that point. Maybe you are. That's what gets you to try things. The failure rate on these ventures is pretty high, and that's the way the world works.
How about me as like a consumer of ideas? Which fields ought I learn about if I want some like very evergreen fields that are going to be useful for me throughout my career?
Well, now it's AI. It has not been that in the past, but that will be important for the rest of my life and yours, and you'll have to know it no matter what you do. So I would say that. Uh, Depends who you are and what you're going to do. But I tell a lot of people that if you learn a lot about China, India, and Mexico, maybe Russia, you're really in pretty good shape. Like that's a lot of the world, and it will always be relevant. And you're always going to meet people from those places, probably work with them. It's just very good background for many, many things. Now, if you live somewhere else, it's going to differ. But at least India and China will not really differ. Mexico might differ.